Well, the Metal Queen, you're now celebrating 40 years with this record. Tell us about it.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah. I still feel like 24 when I first really like started. And yeah, it's now, record number, I think 20. And the record just came out. It's doing really well. It's called Conqueress, Forever Strong and Proud. Has 20 killer songs on it and 3 duets, which I'm so happy and grateful about. One duet with another German singer. His name is Sammy Amara of the band Broilers. It's a huge band in Germany, like they fill stadiums. And 2 duets with Rob Halford, and I'm so happy. It was my very first tour in 1986 with Judas Priest, and we always stayed friends. And we met last year at a festival in France, Hellfest, by the way, a great festival. And we were hanging out backstage talking, and then Rob asked me what I'm doing. I said, yeah, just finishing up a new album. And we were both like, looking at each other, smiling. And then I said, Rob, are you thinking the same? Shall we do something together? He said, yes, it's about time. We are friends for such a long time. Let's do it. And then he said, what would you like to do? And I said, I would love to record Living After Midnight. He said, okay, good choice. Let's do it. And then he said, I have a song I always wanted to do with you, Total Eclipse of the Heart. And I thought, wow, that's very unusual. And then I said, yes, I love both of them. And now, we did 2 duets on this album. And but I love all the songs and I'm so happy. And we played a couple of songs live already. And they went over really well. So we're planning a big tour for next year, many festivals. And and life is all right. Busy is always good, so yeah.
Absolutely. That's funny. I was going to ask you actually specifically about Total Eclipse of the Heart because that song really, really moved me. I mean, when I heard when they dropped the single, I don't know, I was going through something. I had just lost a friend and I was kind of feeling emotional and I put that on and listened to it. It brought tears to my eyes but it was so beautiful. And every time I keep going back and listening to it, and I was wondering, how did you guys decide to do that one? So you saying that was Halford's idea?
Yes, it was. And wow. And I thought, wow, man. And at first I thought, maybe if we would do 1 duet on this album, I would be more than happy. And then he said, let's do 2 songs, and it was this choice. And I thought, wow. And then I heard like his vocal takes and I thought, wow, man, I really could feel he loves that song. So I said, I better step up to the plate, and then we did the song and it was actually a group effort. Everybody was like recording it and mixing it, like Andy Sneap in England. He recorded Rob's vocals and he was mixing a little bit. Then my guy, his name is Andreas Brun. He's the ex-guitar player of Sisters of Mercy. And we worked together since 1996. And and then everybody gave their 2 senses. And then, and that was the last song, which was actually finished. And, and I'm so glad that it made this album. And, and Rob is one of my heroes and, favorite singers. I grew up with the British wave, with the new wave of British heavy metal. And Rob Halford and Ronnie James Dio and David Coverdale and, and Priest and Saxon, everybody that meant a lot to me. So, and I'm so happy and wow. And Rob still sounds awesome. Wow. I get chills every time I hear his voice on both songs, like Living After Midnight or Total Eclipse of the Heart. And,
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite singers right there from all time, man.
Yes. Yeah. I was so lucky. My first concert I've seen, it was 1980. I had my first band, was called Snakebite. My first band was Snakebite, then Beast, then Attack, and then Warlock. We formed in 82, and our first record came out 83, 84. It was Burning the Witches. That's the reason why we now celebrate 40th anniversary. But I started actually in 1980, and my first concert I've seen was David Coverdale and Whitesnake, and boy, it was so awesome. And the second concert was Judas Priest, and support band was Accept, and third concert was Ronnie James Dio. And I'm so lucky that I could, tour with everybody, work with everybody. And but actually I haven't worked with David Coverdale yet. That would be another dream, maybe, if he feels good. Yeah.
That needs to happen. That would be really cool.
Yes, no, that would be awesome. And and actually we had big plans, like Ronnie James Dio and me. We wanted to do another really cool song for his Magica album 2 and Magica album 3, because we were on tour. That was the first Magica album, and we became great friends. And we said, let's do something together. But it didn't, didn't work out. So maybe in another lifetime that would be great. And but I'm really blessed that I could work and tour with everybody. It's a big honor.
Now, as far as the musical landscape, how in your from your viewpoint, how has it changed over the years? It's pretty different now, huh?
Yeah, in which ways? Zach? What do you mean exactly?
Just in general, like, from starting out the way that it was back then in the 80s to, everything that we just went through with the pandemic, and then now it's so different, right?
Totally. I tell you, when we started out, man, we didn't have any problems. There was a problem when MTV wouldn't play your video. That was a problem. And now, but there's so many. Yeah, it's so chaotic, and the world is in so bad shape, and it's really. Yeah, it was much more light and no worries whatsoever, that was definitely different, and we could just do whatever we wanted. There was no limits, for example, no securities, no sound limit, we could always, turn the marshals up to, whatever, 10.5, and nobody would care. And now, you always have to play by the rules. There's usually a curfew, which when we started out, there was no curfew. Sometimes we played 3 hours straight and everybody was happy. And now you always have to, you have to have security, a curfew. It's like, it's not so free anymore. And, that definitely changed. And what changed, when we started, there weren't so many ladies and girls doing it. It was like, it was just maybe a handful. Like, I remember Girls' School from England and Lita or Joan Jett. And there was, maybe a handful. And now there are tons of great female, singers, musicians. That's definitely changed. And when I see some old videos or old footage of festivals, for example, we played the festival in England, Monsters of Rock Festival 1986 in Castle Donington, which was for us the biggest day because everything changed. Like before, that was pretty good. We were doing pretty good. We had our third album out. Doing like nice, like club tours, was like packed, sold out. But after the Monsters of Rock Festival, everything was different. And then people said, okay, let's give this band a chance. And we could hop on tour with Judas Priest. And when I have some, like when I see some old video cassettes, they're actually only guys in the audience, not one girl, and now it's the mix, it's like 50-50, which that is great. But that was definitely true. In the beginning, it was definitely very male dominated, which was cool. I loved it. It didn't matter to me that I didn't have any female role models. My role models that were great was like Lemmy and Dio and David Coverdale and Rob Halford. That was like, that was cool for me. I never even thought of it. Yeah. But now for young kids or teenagers, now they have definitely much more variety and they can check out great bands with like great girls. And, that's cool. That's definitely, that changed. And I went, like it was always going up and down and up and down. And the 90s when grunge was so big, then it was very, very difficult to survive as a normal rock metal band. yeah, and we did many records, and then I was always so happy to deliver the record to the record company, and they were asking me, and do you think you have some singles? I said, yes, I think some great singles, some great choices for doing a video and all. And I said, oh, that's awesome. We are totally behind you. Cool. But is it grunge? And I said, no, it doesn't sound like grunge. I said, but it has to sound like grunge a little bit. I said, no, not at all. And I said, no, then we can record. And that happened like 4 or 5 times, and it was heartbreaking. And then in 2000, I felt, metal is coming back in a big way. And then I hopped on tour with Ronnie James Dio in America, and Yngwie Malmsteen was on the bill as well. And and then, it got great again. But, these 90s, that was a little tricky, but we could still survive. We could still play. And it was not the big stadiums. It was like the bigger clubs, but there was as much fun. And, but I definitely know ups and downs. Yes.
Yeah, not all the artists that went through that made it out to the other side of it, but you guys, you stuck to your guns. You kept doing what you were doing, and you made it. You got over that hump, and you're still doing it.
Yes. And I tell you, I must, say thank you to all the fans, to the diehard fans. They were still buying the records even when they were just imports, because in Europe they were releasing all the records. In America that was different. I said, no, when it's not grunge, can't release it. But in Europe we could still release albums, and then the diehard fans, they got it from Europe, and they probably paid a lot of money, but they got it. So the fan base was always there, and I owe it all to the fans, from day one. And, that was always and that gave me always so much motivation and inspiration. So that's the reason why the record is called Conqueress, Forever Strong and Proud, that everybody would feel strong and proud, and and I thought this album, it definitely has to, give people more than all the other records I love, of course, but this one I thought, man, I want to give out extra power and strength and energy and, and hope and all that good stuff, all that spread some metal love,
Yeah. Well, as soon as it comes on, you just got to put your fist up in the air. I mean, that's just, it just brings that out,
Yes. No, and I don't know if you've seen the videos. We did some really cool videos of, we had 5 singles before the album came out. First single was Time for Justice. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
It was like a little Mad Max kind of video. I'm a big fan of all these Mad Max movies, and I always wanted to do a video like that. And then when we picked the single, and I thought, yeah, man, I call up these, people. I met them in Wacken, this awesome festival in Germany, and these guys, they had like these great outfits, and they're building their own motorcycles, their own cars, and they're called Wasteland Warriors. And we hit it off right away many years ago. And then when we picked Time for Justice as a singer, I thought, I want to call them up and want to ask them if they want to be in the video. And and then we had a second video with the Wasteland Warriors, is Children of the Dawn, and they came to my big anniversary shows in Wacken and in Düsseldorf. That's my former hometown where everything started. So we always, have to celebrate, to see all the old band members, friends, and it's sometimes you have to do it. Go back to your roots and and give thanks to everybody. And so, but all the videos, I think they came out great, and the video with Rob Halford, Total Eclipse of the Heart, I think, that's so soulful, and Rob looked so great with his long leather coat and stuff, and
yeah. Earlier you were talking about the fans and talking about how diverse the crowds are now. It was making me think it's not just women and men out there. Like now it's whole families. You have whole generations of fans out there, the children, the parents, the grandparents, everybody's coming out.
That's Cool. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah. And I just saw. Did you see the Last Kiss show in Madison Square Garden?
No, I didn't. I didn't get to see that, but I can imagine.
Yeah, there were many, young people, older people, kids, many kids with the Kiss makeup. That was great. And actually, I wanted to go there so bad to Madison Square Garden, but we had a show in Mexico. It was the Life After Death Horror Fest. And so, it was booked already. And then 2 days before, they canceled it or they postponed it. And I thought, oh no, I wanted to be there when Kiss would, do the last show, but we couldn't. So I got a ticket. I saw it online, and it was great. And I don't know if you know, but Gene Simmons, he produced one of our records in 89, 90.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. And we were all big Kiss fans as kids, actually. And that was so unbelievable. And then that was right before grunge made it big. You could tell there was some change going on in 89, 90, 91. And then suddenly, wow, everything was different. So, but the record, Gene Simmons produced, it was still it was pretty good.
Yo, I was reading about the promo for this record. There's also it says there's going to be a bunch of bonus tracks coming out as well too.
Yeah.
One of those being a Metallica, the Four Horsemen. You guys do a cover of that. I haven't heard that yet, but I can only imagine.
Oh yeah, I think it came out great, and I wanted to give thanks for I love the Kill 'Em All album, and we played actually some. Yeah, early shows together in the 80s. And I still remember Cliff Burton, what a great guy, totally cool and relaxed. And I wanted to, record a song of Kill 'Em All. And then I decided the Four Horsemen might be good. And then we recorded it and I thought, oh, this sounds good. So let's put it on this album. And in Europe, actually, you can get the Digipack, which has 20 songs. But I guess in some countries there are only 15 songs on it, and then I guess they release the bonus tracks on whatever Spotify and all that stuff. And we do one more video for True Metal Maniacs. That's another song on the bonus CD, and actually the guy is just mixing some cool stuff together with all the fans. And there is another single coming up. Coming out in a couple of months. It's Lean Mean Rock Machine. There's another person working on a cool video. It's the first comic video. And I saw the first 2 minutes and it's so funny. It's hilarious. And this will probably come out when we go on tour. We start touring and doing the first festivals in March. So that's so that's the plan at least. And then of course, worldwide nice, gigs and festivals, and the booker is already working on it, and I'm excited to play some of the new songs, and of course the best of all the last 40 years, some old school metal songs always, and the best of our Warlock songs, and
So 2024 is going to be a busy year for you guys, huh?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I love playing live the most. I love doing records. I love writing songs. I love rehearsing, but there's nothing like, putting on a good live show and then seeing, that fans go crazy, and, when they're all sweating, then I feel like, that's good. Then I can sleep good. And and my home is definitely the tour bus. I still love it. And I grew up actually in a truck when I was a baby, when I was a little child. My dad was a truck driver. And ever since, I love that, being on the road. That's what I love the most. Yeah.
It's like you were made for it,
Yeah, somehow. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Yeah, some people said, oh, you grew up in a truck. Oh, this must have been tough. And you weren't going to kindergarten. And I said, no, I didn't need the fucking kindergarten. No, I loved it. And actually I could drive the truck. My dad, he was so cool. He taught me how to drive this big truck. And then he was all proud of me. And I was sitting on his lap, driving the truck. And I had definitely a great time, but it was tough. I definitely remembered my parents, they were working all the time. So, but they taught me to have good work ethics, you know, to not give up, you know, and to always, work 20 hours if it's necessary. So that was good. You know, I think that's good. You know, when you have it too easy, I think that's not good. You know, it might be very comfortable, but, you know, you probably don't have so much, you know, strength and stamina. And, you know, when everything always goes well and goes good, that's, you know, then you don't build any muscle, you know.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Another thing I wanted to ask you about was the artwork on this record. Can you tell us about that? It's really, you always have great album covers, but I mean, this one, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's, again, done by one of my favorite artists. His name is Jeffrey Gillespie, and he's actually an English guy, but he lives in France. And he was the first, he did our Triumph and Agony album cover, the Warlock cover, where, you know, the blue one I love so much. And ever since when I had the feeling, the next album is a metal album, then, you know, I called him, and he did the last album cover, the Forever Warriors, Forever United, which I think came out great. And he did the Raise Your Fist and Fear No Evil, and he did all kinds of record covers. And then when I was doing this album, then I called him and I said, Jeffrey, I have a new album in the making. I think it will sound really metal. It has everything from heavy, fast, like, you know, like speed metal to anthems to really nice ballads as well. And I said, well, the work title is Forever Strong and Proud. He said, that sounds cool. And I said, could you paint something? And he said, Doro, I did already. And I said, what? He said, yes, I did something. Shall I send it to you? And you say if you like it, you know, I could do something, you know, different, some more. And I said, yes, send it. And that's exactly what you are having in your hands. You know, we have vinyl as well. There's a nice picture, this vinyl. And, and then I saw this album cover and I thought, that's perfect. And I thought, Forever Strong and Proud is a great work title, but it needs one more word. And then we were talking about it. And at first we had the word conquistador. And I thought, this sounds so nice. But I thought maybe some people, they don't know what it is because it's Spanish for conqueror. And then I thought, and how about conqueror? And then I thought, okay, Conqueress. And that's how it came about. And it fits perfect to the artwork and stuff. And Jeffrey, he painted the album cover from my favorite photo, which usually we're always in tune without talking about it. And but that's another work of Jeffrey Gillespie. And then I'm doing my little things. I was a graphic artist before, so I'm fiddling around with some stuff. And then, and there's a nice, a real book in the digipack. And, so there's lots of good stuff to see. And there's a timeline in the vinyl, and you can see all, like, you know, some really old photos, like, you know, like hanging out with whatever early James Hetfield and Ronnie James Dio and Rob Halford and Lemmy, and some cool pictures on it. And a real timeline when it started to now. And so visuals are really important to me too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is really cool. You know, I was thinking about it back in the 80s. I don't know, it was like 89, 88. I was a little kid. I was at the record store and I was just looking through stuff, and I actually bought Warlock, Triumph and Agony just because the album cover looked so cool. I didn't even know what it sounded like. I just saw that album cover and I was like, God, this is awesome. I have to have this. So I bought it, went home and listened to it, and then I was blown away and I was like, holy shit.
Cool. Oh, that's so good. Actually I met Jeffrey Gillespie, and then he said, what would you like to have? And then we talked a little bit, and then I went to the office of my manager. He said, well, you got some ideas and stuff. Jeffrey sent some ideas, and I thought, maybe there's some little ideas. And I went to the office, and the whole floor was covered with all these paintings. And then everybody said, okay, you have to decide now which you like the most. And they were all gorgeous. And I thought, oh my God. And then And then we decided, the Triumph and Agony album cover, the one you know. And he's really talented. I love that. And yeah, he's a cool guy, and he's definitely like an artist. He's like one time he said, Doro, give me some more work. And I said, yeah. He said, because all my family, they're in the crazy house. I'm the only one, like allowed outside. I said, oh, okay, yes, Jeffrey, I promise you, I have many, many more records in the making. But so, but there are many artists, like I guess artists and musicians and filmmakers and painters. They are all like, special, different people sometimes, and yeah.
That's really cool that you stuck with him for so long too, though.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. When I like something, I always do. When I love something, I always love. And that's the reason why we're in our band. For example, our drummer, Johnny D, he's in the band for 30 years now. Yes, his anniversary as well in our band. And and we're all a good family, like definitely brothers and sisters. And and I like, when something works, and when you have good chemistry. And the same with like, he's the guitar player and producer, Andreas Brun. He's the ex-guitar player of Sisters of Mercy. When I have an idea, then I always send my ideas to him. And, and when he says, oh, yeah, I like it, let's work on it. He's actually with me since 1996. So, yeah. But of course, some new people in the team, that's cool too. So whatever creates magic.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Doro, I guess I'm about out of questions for you. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for all these years of support. And, I can't wait to see them on tour, on festivals. And I want to, say thank you. Thank you for all these great, years, and great years of rock and metal and power and love. And they're always, always deep inside my heart. Für immer. That means forever. And I hope I will see everybody live. And I hope that they love this new album as much as we do. And I wish everybody the best, of course, great Christmas time and all the best, that it will be a killer new year and all that good stuff.
Before I let you go, can I get you to make us another radio station tag?
Yes, of course. I just write something down. Yes, okay. What shall I say? Mm-hmm.
Say something like, this is Doro, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Metal Devastation Radio. Okay, I do it right now.
All right.
Hey, metalheads and headbangers, this is Doro Fashion. You're listening to Metal Devastation Radio. I wish you a great time. Enjoy and stay metal.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, Doro.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was great talking to you, and hope to see you maybe live. Where are you located? Which city or which
Tennessee, USA.
Oh, and which city? Because I worked in Nashville many years, and
I'm in a small town, but it's very close to Nashville. So if you come to Nashville, we'll come see you.
All right, good. Hey, right on. Excellent. Good. And have a good one, and have a great Christmas time, and then hope to see you very soon on
You too, Doro. You too.
Festivals. Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao. Bye-bye.